This is a message that applies to 99% of you listening right now.
Because that's how many of you can be covered by fast and reliable service on the Boost Mobile network with 99% nationwide coverage.
And if you're thinking, no, I'm special, I'm the 1%. Boost Mobile's amazing 5G network doesn't apply to me. I don't want to hear it.
You're either that one guy in 100 who actually likes black licorice, or you're a billionaire. And in my experience, Rory, I find both generally untrustworthy.
But for the other 99% of you, listen up.
Right now, when you switch to Boost Mobile, you can get an iPhone 15 with dynamic island and a 48 megapixel camera for $99.99.
That's $99.99 for an iPhone 15 on a nationwide 5G network.
I'm 99% positive Boost Mobile just gave all of us a really, really good deal, Rory.
In-store offer, $35 device setup fee may apply. Requires credit qualifications, ID verification, and activation on a $60 plan. Taxes extra. 5G speeds not available in all areas.
No worry and mouth.
All right, so this is my guy. We trying to think how many years we have in at this point. One of the first live performers at our live podcast,
yes.
God knows how long ago in Houston. Somebody that can attest that I am a legend in every ward of the greater Houston area.
He's good on MLK. I'm not gonna lie to you. He's good on MLK. He is.
50-51 legend.
50-15. 50-15.
50-15. See, I don't even know.
See.
Yeah.
See,
I rearranged the
you
numbers.
false flagging. You false flagging.
The spot, camp. I pitched a tent there with this guy.
Yeah. Yep.
My guy, Jack Freeman.
Jack Freeman.
Hey, yo, let me tell you something. I performed on the other podcast when I was live. He yelled at the production guy for me.
Was that when they cut the music, cut the mic?
He was like, yo, you, I did one song. He was like, yo, you got to get off. And he got on the mic. He said, yo, you stay right the fuck there.
Yeah.
And you do what you do your thing. Who the fuck are you?
Yeah, I remember that.
I was like, man, look at Rory, man.
Yeah.
Out
and
here.
then we almost got it shaken in the green room after.
Yeah, I remember that.
Did y'all?
I remember that.
I didn't even know that.
I see, again, even though Maul accurately depicts me as a Karen, especially when it comes to like TSA, and I always have an issue with everything.
Yeah.
I felt actually in the right with my outburst of that entire thing.
He
like you, in the middle of you performing, some random stagehand is gonna walk on the stage and start like, "Who the fuck is you?"
I didn't even know who that guy was. He was like, "Nah, do your thing."
No, he was right. Rory was definitely right in that moment. 100%.
And I looked at him.
I forgot all about that shit.
I was like, "Yeah."
And then you did Dallas with us too, right?
I did Dallas. I did Austin with y'all, and I did Houston.
Yeah, that was a fun. It was a good time. Little trip.
I had a good time, man.
In the meantime, someone just happened. You signed with B Cox.
Signed with B Cox.
Shout out to that. Salute to that.
Shout out to Brian Michael Cox, man.
The legend, Brian Michael Cox.
You know what? He won 11. He's won his 11th Grammy this year.
Insane.
And so we did that, put out an album last year. He executive produced. We about to drop the deluxe this year.
Okay.
We got the new single out, MVP. We got a remix with Bun B coming.
Okay.
We got another remix with Corey Mo and Big Crit.
Okay.
It's amazing, bro. It's been a good time, bro.
What was that like? Even like connecting with B Cox and how that process went? I mean, I met fucking greatest writers of all time.
Yeah. So I met Brian like in 2018, and we didn't make music until 2021. Like we didn't do nothing. Okay. Like we was just.
Where y'all met at? Because B Cox he's known to be in them streets a little bit.
So you know he's from Houston.
Absolutely.
So he came to this event. It was a showcase that Ciroc was hosting. Okay. And at that time he was doing some brand stuff with Ciroc, and they were doing an R&B night, and they had 3 artists. It was me, guy Keith Jacobs, and my homegirl Susan Carroll. Okay. And so we did a show, and he was the host, and he was like, "Yo, man, like you from Houston?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "I feel like we met before." I was like, probably have, but you know what I mean? So we got together, and then after that, he would just like, whenever he was in the cities, "Yo, I'm here." We just go around and, just kick it. Mm-hmm. And for 3 years, we didn't actually make no music. We was just hanging out. And sometime during COVID, he was like, "Yo, we should start working on some things." So came out here to LA and did a couple records that actually never saw the light of day. And then I started working on my album. And then to be honest, I ran out of money. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I don't know what the hell I'm about to do with this album. Yeah. And I called Brian. I'm like, you look, like, I don't know what you want to do, but like, I'm trying to finish this album. And This is when he was working at LVRN.
Mm-hmm.
So tried to go to LVRN. They weren't really interested.
Oh,
so.
Amber was just right there. If you want to press her.
Yeah. So they like on the presser, like, yo, why you ain't, you know what I'm saying? So Brian, and at the time it was taking a while for them to give us an answer. And so Brian was like, man, let's just finish it together and just put it out.
Yeah.
And so we did it, and rest is history, man.
What's that process like? Because I think you're an amazing writer.
Appreciate
it.
Yeah.
From what I knew before that, you was writing literally every last word. What's it like to sit with B Cox and like,
man,
do you just let him rock?
What's funny is he lets me rock.
Okay.
And it's super easy, man. Like it's the first song we ever did, I was trying to write it, and I was kind of like, he stopped me and he was like, look, what I love about you and your writing is you use space well. This is what I love about that.
Okay.
So continue to do that. I don't want to change the way that you make your music.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to like fill in the blanks where you're missing some things. And so it's just a mutual respect. And we both Houston dudes, so like we kind of gauge each other's. We also understand each other's like thing. You know, like you New York, you meet a guy from New York, you just know what New York is.
Absolutely, yeah.
A-Sound is like that too. So there's no ego with it. He doesn't actually. The first single on the album wasn't even his record. He was like, "Yo, that's the single." I'm like, there's no ego. He just likes good music. He likes making good music, and it's just remarkably easy, bro. Like I couldn't ask for a better person to be actually doing music with and being signed to, because there's not a lot of good people in the industry.
Oh, for sure.
And he's an amazing person.
He's one of the very few.
Yeah.
It's dope to, whenever you hear people say there's no ego with somebody who has every right to have an ego.
Yeah. I mean,
That's
bro,
incredible.
Like, I was out here for Grammys, and he won his Grammy. He wasn't at the Grammys. He was in the studio he was at Westlake making more beats. I think he made like 7-8 beats that day. And he was already on his third or fourth one by the time I got to the studio. This is a guy that works and works and works. And he genuinely loves the craft. Like he loves R&B music. Yeah. He's an incredible R&B DJ. Obviously we know he's an incredible writer and incredible producer, but he loves this. Yeah. And it doesn't, like, he hasn't slowed down. Like he's been up, he's been down, he's been great this whole time. You know what I'm saying? So I really enjoy it, man. Just being with him, kicking it with JD every now and then, and just talking shit, going to Magic City. Yeah,
research purposes.
Yes, research.
Praise dancing.
Yes,
it's praise dancing. The night service is what I like to call it.
Praise dancing. That's what it is.
It's the Center for African American Talent and Performing and Visual Arts is what we like to call it.
Performing and Visual Arts.
Yes.
At the University of Magic City.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What isn't said enough about B Cox is he is one of the greatest doxers of all time as well.
Is he?
B Cox posted an Instagram photo in front of my house with my address showing the license plate to my car, and then tagged Jersey City, New Jersey as his location.
Whoa, he did that?
I love it.
I texted him immediately. I was like, "Hey, man,
I love
you gotta blur that.
Can you take that photo down?
You gotta blur that. You gotta block that shit, man.
I forgot
That's
about that.
crazy.
Peeje put that shit in the group chat. I called B Cox so quick. I said, "Yo, can you please take that photo down? You have my license plate, my address."
Oh my God. Everybody that got me for Rory was outside.
Oh my God, that was legendary.
That boy had to
that shit was like a map, a treasure map to my house.
Oh my God. They was like, that's where he at? That's where he be at?
We on the way.
Yeah. We are on the way.
My
I'm booking
dumbass,
a flight
my car
right now.
registered my name. You can find anything.
Oh man.
But
That's
Maul
crazy.
wants to move to Houston. He's just a little shook.
Maul loves Houston.
I
He
do.
wants to move here.
I love Texas, love Houston, love Austin, Dallas. I'm just trying to, trying to figure out which one is the best.
Well, Drake's in Houston, so
That's why I can't. Because it's trouble waiting to happen, man. It's just trouble waiting to happen.
Look, it's an amazing time.
No, I
I've
love
met so
Houston,
many
love
people
Houston.
that's like, I saw Reason the other day, right?
Shout out to Reason.
And Reason, he was like, yo, I spent a lot of time in Houston. And he was like, I cannot go
He moved there for a minute.
He did move there for a minute.
Yeah.
He was like, yo, I can't keep coming there. Like, I can't do that.
It's just.
I said, but you can though.
Yeah.
And you should.
And you will.
You should. And you will. And you love us. You love us. You want to be. It's
like permanent vacation. I don't understand how people
it is
get
a
anything
permanent
done
vacation.
there.
It is every day something going on. Something going on.
But
Some bar.
I joke with it, but I could live in Houston because I'm just I I don't need to be out. I don't need to be in the mix.
But
I love the culture of Houston, but I know that I could live there and not
You got to
be.
live in like Pearland or like Cypress or something like that, where it's like you're not close to the mix.
Yeah, but I can get there.
But you
Most
can
city
get there.
shit,
I can get there.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
30 minutes, 40 minutes with traffic.
Yeah. Little Sugar Land, you know.
Hopefully 40 minutes will stop you from going to the mix.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I
Maul,
do that.
there's other sides to Houston too, though. Like, of course, there's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
But I feel like Maul could meet like a really nice woman at an after work mixer.
You would.
Like she's a guidance counselor.
You
or
would
like something
meet
like
a
that.
very nice,
not just-
beautiful teacher.
Teacher.
Or a nurse.
Yeah.
Or like a
somebody
lawyer.
that's in the performance visual arts.
The
Somebody.
performing in visual arts
yeah.
at Onyx Baptist Church.
Yeah.
Or
I thought it was First Corinthian. That's what I thought.
First Corinthian.
Yeah.
It is. And Area 29 Methodist is where they reside as well.
All
Absolutely.
serve great chicken Alfredo and wings.
Yes, me, Brian, Thanksgiving weekend, Usher came to town for the tour.
Mm-hmm.
So me, Brian, JD, Nelly was with us one night. We went twice. Flo Rida was with us the first night. And
This is the wildest crew.
That sounds like
this is how I know niggas got too
like a
much
BET
money.
series.
Yo, Usher was throwing all of this money the first day, right? He's doing his thing.
Yeah.
And they're not Usher bucks, right?
Yeah.
So Flo Rida's there, right?
He has a little bit of money.
Yeah, he got a little. Flo Rida. We're
Also has a little bit
in
of
the
money.
section. The money guy comes with like a stack of like another $20,000.
Yeah.
And we were like, who asked for that?
Paying tithes. Yeah.
The DJ said, Usher, Flo said that's for you, my guy. I ain't never gave someone $20,000 to watch them throw it at the nice young ladies. At
blessings.
It was
Let the blessings
It was an
pour down.
amazing. You got when the blessings go up. When the prayers go up, the blessings come down. Amen.
Yeah,
Hallelujah.
amen.
I've seen plenty of guys throw a lot of Kendrick Perkins.
Yeah, Big Perk.
Big Perk.
Yeah.
Was on it.
James Harden.
Yeah, legend.
James Harden got eliminated from the playoffs, and 3 hours later he was in Dreams.
Yeah.
He didn't even let he didn't even do the exit meeting.
He didn't even shower.
Oh, buddy, I'm sorry to throw y'all on the bus, but everybody is. We see y'all.
James Harden is to Houston like what I feel like Magic Johnson is to LA. Like he really, he owns a part of. Houston,
Oh, absolutely.
You know who used to be like that? Robert Ory.
Oh, I can see that.
They be like, yo, Robert Ory is out all the time.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I
and
can
this
see
is the
that.
90s. I'm like, for real?
Yeah, I can see that.
Robert Ory, him and Sam Cassell.
And you got to think of some of the athletes that just lucked up with the teams. Like imagine being with the Rockets and then going to the Lakers. Fuck the organization.
Yeah.
You going from Houston to LA?
Yeah.
Jesus. Like there's people in Minnesota right now.
Vernon Maxwell tells a story about how he got in trouble and Pop traded him from San Antonio. He's like, where y'all trade me to? He said, Houston. He said, absolutely. Thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I am hurt, but I'm also not hurt. I will
be okay.
Bro, he was out all the time, bro.
That is hilarious.
I was talking to a linebacker that would not be named, but a very great one that was released from a team. And I hit him and I say, so what's the plan? That's crazy they released you.
Yeah.
He said, send me somewhere where there's hoes and less taxes. Send me to Texas or Florida.
Send me to the hoes.
Yes.
I want to be where they are.
Absolutely.
Because these last couple years, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I'm going to show up to training camp when I want to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I'm going to 50-15.
Right.
And there's nothing you can do about
Right.
it.
You can't stop.
I'm going to the spot.
Yeah.
And there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
Before we let you go, what was one of the most interesting conversations you, Nelly, Flo Rida, Usher, like in the sprinter or going spot to spot? What was some of the conversation like with that crew?
You know what's actually the most funny is Robert Glasper was with us too.
Yo, all right.
Houston
That's
legend.
the conversation.
All right,
That's the conversation.
Oh my God.
Brian and I, we have lots of very interesting conversations. Things, current events, and the news, and the things that are going on in these days. This was before we knew Nelly was going to be at the inauguration, but that was a good time though. It was a good time. Yeah. But
you guys were in a red state.
We're in a red state. It is
Makes
what
sense.
it is.
Yeah.
But Robert is the one that you had those conversations with, because Robert is. If we're not in a club having an R&B conversation, then we're drunk at that.
Right. You're not having
looking
a
at
good
the
time.
nice young ladies, clothed and unclothed.
The ushers. Yes.
The
ushers.
ushers.
Yeah, the ushers.
The praise dancers, the
Yes,
drill team.
Yes, absolutely.
Nah, man, like I've been around Usher a couple times. We haven't had like a lot of conversations. It's like one of those guys that she's like right there, but I know everybody else except that guy.
Yeah.
So we have those conversations. Me and Jonte have lots of boxing conversations.
Okay.
He's a
Huge boxing fan.
Really?
Yeah, like he's a fight fan. He loves MMA. He loves boxing. So like sometimes I'll tweet him. I'm like, who you got in this fight?
Yeah.
Oh, I got such and such. So shout out to Jonte. I need a record from Jonte.
Absolutely.
I need a record from Jonte.
Yeah.
I think it'll happen though.
I need a record from
happen.
Jonte. I also need to be on the next album.
See, don't even do that.
I need to be on the next
Should I
album.
go through our text history?
Oh, we can, and it's true. I didn't turn in my song at the right time.
Okay, so then that's on you.
Actually, you know what? I did turn in my song at the right time. It just took you hella long to put the album out.
And then we moved on from that, and then I sent you more ideas, and then when I was about to put it out, you were like, yo, let me try to make the deadline.
Something, yes. Because you know
All
what
I
it was?
know is I was left on red a few fucking times.
No,
That's all.
what it was I wanted to get a B Cox record.
Okay.
And I wanted to, kind of round it out.
I
But I
would
think
never,
we can
never
do that.
wanted that on my project.
Never. I don't.
Who wants that?
Brian Michael Cox.
Who is this Brian?
Brian
Michael?
Michael. The only
I'm
Brian Cox I know is a linebacker.
Well, I'm in the studio tonight and tomorrow.
Okay. All
there
right.
you
What
go.
studio you at? Well, we can't tell. We can't have you dox.
He learns the doc shit from. No, I'm
you
not
go.
telling you.
We're gonna be at
At this time, we got this room locked
we're gonna be
out.
at the record plant.
Yeah.
We're gonna be at Hit Factory, son.
Yeah.
Hit
Absolutely.
Thank you, Jack. Appreciate you, man.
Thank you so much, man.
Really good to see you. And yeah, let's figure something out because
Let's please do.
My dog.
I need to get on the Emotional Oranges record.
Yeah, that's what he need to do.
that's a fact.
Yeah.
I'm trying to gyrate on an Emotional Oranges record.
We in K-pop territory now, dog.
yeah, we need that though.
Mo, I am extremely excited. We have one of my favorite people in the R&B space currently. I had the pleasure of connecting with this gentleman at the Blue Note during our guy, Terrace Martin's residency.
Okay.
From the beautiful, beautiful city of Watts, California. We have my guy, Kenyon Dixon.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What's up, family?
He's
Good,
there.
man. How you
I went to, I think, 3 shows.
Yeah.
I went back to that. I did the early and the late show. I shouldn't have brought girls, man. He was serenading everybody.
Yeah.
No,
Brought
man.
him to the green room.
That's how you
man.
get them back. That's how you get them back.
Yeah. Need that good R&B energy.
Yeah. I'm just setting you up for a good
Yeah.
night, bro.
Exactly.
Fresh off, you and Terrace just dropped a 2-pack.
We just dropped the 2-pack.
And I believe, is there a full project on the way? Or?
Yeah, man. So the album Come As You Are drops June 20th.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm
Oh, so y'all right here.
we right here, man. I'm excited about it.
Okay.
How did you and Terrace originally connect?
So we're both LA natives.
Yeah.
My first
Terrace is from LA. He's never said that.
I never would have thought.
I can't even tell by his
Crenshaw
accent.
District. Yeah. You know what's crazy? One of my first gigs ever. This is when I was like right out of high school singing background. I sang background for DJ Quick, and Terrace was actually on the gig. That was me and Terrace's first time
Oh, wow.
working together. But Terrace and my older brother, who's also a musician, they're good friends. And so we've always known each other. But just recently we started like working together. So I've known Terrace over a decade, possibly 2. And we just never worked on music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen Terrace since you guys have put this 2-pack out, kind of reminding and giving a history lesson to everybody of what like Watts has meant to soul and to R&B.
Yeah.
Can you speak to the history of Watts and what it actually means for the genre that you guys are in?
Yeah, man, it's just it's an important space, man. I think there's a lot of different just juxtaposition that happens in that space. Like for instance, I'm from the projects. I'm from the Jordan Downs. You can imagine, and Menace to Society. If you've seen Menace to Society,
Yeah.
where they shot that's where I grew up. So you can imagine what the street is like. The streets are like there, but my parents were ministers. So my household, I grew up. Nothing I experienced outside was allowed inside of the house. You know what I mean? So
Right.
I think Watts really speaks to that melting pot of experiences, and I think that's what makes it such a special place. It's just rich in culture and just a lot of different stuff that makes for great artists. One of my favorites from Watts will always be Tyrese, who was a big part of the start of my career. And so same type of just same type of contrast coming from the hood, getting into music, using that as a tool to get outside of your environment and space. And so, Watts just happens to be home to a lot of people who were able to survive that way.
Do you remember what the neighborhood, the day that Tyrese was in the Coca-Cola commercial? What was the block like?
Man, it's interesting. I feel like I caught
iconic
that,
commercial.
Yeah, like incredibly iconic. So in my neighborhood, it was like a thing because we knew who he was. I think anytime you have somebody like that that's like in close proximity, it just kind of feels like a win for the whole city because he was like literally an inner city kid. This wasn't like somebody who grew up in entertainment or like, it's like you would see him he was at Lock High at the time, you know what I mean? So I think things like that, I could speak personally, just gave me like direct inspiration because I realized how close I was to that exact situation, and to see somebody in that environment be able to do something that they love and that could take them out of, the hood, man, that was important. Because also growing up in the projects, like doing music and stuff like that, like that's not cool. So that's a whole other fight. Right. We're playing sports, we're doing everything but admitting that we love doing music, because it's like you're not rapping or something like that. It's it's a little tricky. So that also gave me a different level of confidence to understand that it was cool that I felt different than everything else that I was seeing.
Yeah, I know it was different projects, but still Watts. What was it like watching Top and J-Rock and their rise and everything, obviously what it's become, but those early years, watching the two of them kind of navigate through Watts at that time? Yeah,
it's kind of that same idea, man, of the inspiration, because although Watts is separated by a lot of different areas,
to say the least.
But Watts like rises together. I think that's the thing. Like when you talk about positivity in Watts, it includes all of those areas, no matter what's happening internally and the differences that people have personally. You can't deny the talent and the triumph that comes out of the area and people banding together. So yeah, I think like I have homies from where I grew up, my section, who are also great friends with Top and J-Rock and just people from different areas. So yeah, it's the same type of inspiration, man. It's just cool to be from an area like that who has cultivated such great artists and creatives.
Now, somebody like Terrace, he's one of the best debaters. I mean,
yes, he is.
He will debate you for hours upon hours.
Yeah.
Oh, he left the green room. Me and Terrace was in that bitch like 3 a.m. arguing.
He's one of them,
man.
But I love talking to people like him because, number one, he's incredibly talented, but he's also very knowledgeable. What is it like to have, outside of a personal relationship, but now a working relationship with somebody who has done and accomplished so many things like Terrence Martin?
I think the perspective is important. I think because the industry is ever changing. Right. So the way I see it, the as many people as you can have conversations with that have different experiences other than yourself, at some point you're going to have to pull from something that they've already experienced. So I think Terrace being somebody who has experienced a bunch of different things, but who has also had conversations with people who have different experiences. You just get a lot of game and a lot of knowledge. And I think that's the beauty in the collaboration that we have, because we operate in different spaces. We've had successes in different parts of the industry. So I think just being able to come together and just kind of share perspective. Right. I know that's what I appreciate most about it.
How quick did the album come together? I mean, I know knowing him for 2 decades prior, but then y'all actually working. Man, I know how quick he works.
Yeah. So what's crazy? We probably finished that album in like 3 months.
Oh, okay.
And the bulk of the album was probably finished in like a month and a half. Those other 2 months were me and Terrace setting dates to get together for me to drop off the sessions for the stuff, just final records that I had. And he would send me like, actually, okay, see you later, which is one of the records we just dropped. The day that we were meeting for me to give him my drive to get the sessions, he sent me that track. We were supposed to meet at 11 a.m. He sent me that track at like 8 a.m. And I went back home and cut it and showed up to meet him at 11 a.m. with a new song that is now one of the first records we put out. So
how did 211 come together?
That was another one. We were supposed to be done. He sent me text me 5 tracks.
And that ended up being the first 2 out.
Terrace is funny too, because he'll have records that he really wants, So what he'll do is he'll mask them in some new records. So if he sent it to you before,
he'll put it right in the middle of the two. Okay,
literally, he'll send me like 5, and I'll be like, man, I heard this one before.
Like, nah, I ain't played this for you.
and you know what I mean? Sometimes it works because it may just be in that moment. Yeah, it wasn't the energy for that record, so it is dope. But 211 happened that same way. It was one of those last records on the album that we just cooked up, and it had the spirit of the East Coast, man. That's what we love about this whole album. It feels so different than where we're from, but it still has the essence of
a lot of the artwork has been in the train. Like that's what I noticed out the gate, which surprised me. I was like, oh, they using New York as the backdrop for all of this shit.
Man, we were at Blue Note playing 4 nights, 2 shows a night, and every morning before we played Blue Note, we got up and went and shot content for the album. So
What is the differences as far as like, being on the East Coast and performing for that type of crowd, but then being home on the West Coast? Like, what are the differences in the shows, the energy? Do you feel like it's like the Blue Note is a legendary, venue in New York City? Do you feel like it kind of helps you creatively when you get to experience these different venues in these different rooms?
100%. I think as a writer, you need experience. You have to experience things to be able to bring something new to a record. I feel like if I didn't get outside of my city, all my songs would be about the same thing. So I think New York and LA, as far as energy with crowds, they actually do have a lot of similarities. Whereas they're like meccas for creativity. So people are so used to it. So you have to learn how to, at least I've learned how to read LA crowds and New York crowds, because you'll have people in the front row who are just sitting like this, but they're having the time of their lives. Whereas you go to other places, where they're not used to getting talent so much, or getting like their artists coming through the city so often, they're going crazy because they don't know the next time that they're going to see you. You know what I mean? So
in New York, if you go to Blue Note, they get pissed when Chappelle doesn't pop up at R&B shows. Like, why didn't Chappelle host?
And Blue Note was different because I come from playing big venues, standing room venues. And so my manager knows I hate venues with seats because I like energy. So I always want people like standing up.
Yeah, the Blue Note is very laid back. Very, like, but intimate.
I love it. It's the thing. That's the type of venue that really makes you as an artist, because if you can convince somebody of what you're doing, what you're performing and singing, as they're sitting there, you can take a room. And so I think Blue Note is like one of those spaces that make or break an artist, and so it's worked in our favor.
Before we let you go, being an R&B artist and a native of LA, what does 1500 and nothing mean to the city of Los Angeles?
Oh, those are my guys, man. They represent the city. I think that's really what it is. Bunch of inner city kids, amazingly talented kids who didn't necessarily always have the outlets to place their art in the right spaces, and they created it for themselves, and they give back to like kids like us who grew up like that. So I think that's the importance of 1500. Those are my guys, and I watch them create opportunities for other kids like us in the city. And so they're very, very important.
I mean, with them, like, I always wonder why they're not brought up more. Like, it's mostly like production nerds, like, this did this, Rance did this. Like, we know, but they're never brought up. And then I always remind myself, like, they don't want to be brought up. Like,
they just want to make the music.
They should be in the A-list conversation of any debates that we have when it comes to production.
100%.
But they just want to be in LA, make music, and get back. Like, I just always want to speak their praises, especially with the LA native. Like, they need to be brought up more because they're not going to bring themselves up. They'll just mind their business.
That's a true
James
LA native,
mind his business over here.
James could be in the room right now. We wouldn't even know, bro.
No idea, unless he pulled out a samurai sword.
Now, we at the BET Awards 2025. What's some of your earliest memories of watching BET?
Sneaking, first of all.
You was on Uncut.
Church kid, man.
Yeah, literally. I was not allowed, bro. We had videos of our friends would make us VHS tapes and record videos so that we could watch them on our own because we weren't allowed to go to those channels. I got a couple whoopings from that. My mom finding tapes we weren't supposed to have. Also, I've been in I started off as a background vocalist. I've done the house band quite a few times for the BET Awards. And so my last time, I think, was 2018. We were honoring Anita Baker. And I was in a house band singing with Fox and Marsha and Lettucey. And so it's always cool to like be back in these spaces in a different position. You know what I mean? So, and I sang with Usher at BET Awards when what was that? Like 2012 Climax era.
Oh wow.
Me, BJ the Chicago Kid, and Eric Bellinger.
Oh yeah,
we were all singing. Yeah, we were all on BGVs for Usher, man. So look at us.
That's fire.
As a vocalist, what was it like working with Lettucey in that space? Like she's I mean
she's a singer,
she's
man.
like,
incredible.
No, she's she's a singer.
Let just gets it, man. And another full circle moment, maybe like a year after that, she had no idea that I was the same person that was singing for her. Leia reached out for me to go on tour with her. And I did a run opening for her. And so just watching her, one thing I learned from her is enjoying yourself on stage, and how if you enjoy yourself, you're teaching people what to enjoy when they're watching you. Because the number one thing is, if I like what I'm doing, you have no choice but either to like it or to not like it. But if you're spending your time on stage reading the room to see who likes what you're doing, you're not really enjoying your experience. So yeah, that was something she told me. I think that was like after the first show, we sat and talked, and yeah, just watching her be unapologetically she's amazing. She's
a fucking goat.
I love it, man.
Yeah.
I spoke to Terrace when you guys are back in New York, when the album drops, do some live stuff.
Yeah.
Do an episode. So you and I may end up just being quiet during the whole episode because him and Terrace gonna argue for the whole fucking time.
I'm gonna sit back.
You and I just gonna sit over here.
We're gonna go record. We're gonna go record it right
yeah. That's my guy, man.
Yeah, man.
We appreciate you, man. Thank you so much.
Of course.
I got.
Thank y'all.
If you've listened to this podcast for the last 3 or 4 years, then you have definitely heard this artist's name. I don't think we talk about her enough, but we may be the number one podcast that brings her up.
I mean, I just told her, first of all, it was a pleasure to meet her finally, but she's been playing in my house, in my ears for years as my background music. I listen to her probably every day. Her and Jack, well, I got to give Jack his credit too.
Of course.
But she's one of my favorite. It's an absolute pleasure to sit here and to meet her here at the BET Awards 2025.
Fresh off the When EP, out right now. Hands is doing crazy.
Incredible.
I had the pleasure and honor of collaborating with her in 2023. We are with the incredibly talented Alex Isley.
Alex Isley. I'm going to clap for Alex.
Yes.
You got to clap for Alex, man. Yes.
Big claps.
Rory talks about you all the time. He was like, yo, Mar, you don't understand. Her raw vocals are the greatest, the most incredible. You don't even have to touch the vocals.
Oh, man.
I will say, I've worked with a lot of singers before, specifically in the studio that we cut that record in.
Yeah.
And the amount, I should make people sign NDAs, but because I'd never snitch on people, it doesn't matter.
Right.
The amount of work I've had to do on people's vocals is borderline embarrassing for some of your favorite artists.
Oh, no.
When I tell you Alex walked in, we just had his space bar.
Yeah. I love it.
We didn't have to do anything.
I love it.
It was some of the best raw vocals I had ever heard in person in my life. So it was definitely an amazing session.
Alex, good to see you. Thank you for that Win EP.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's
Great
amazing.
to see y'all.
Amazing. Listen, we got black people. This is black people get loud.
We'll just mark this to edit. All right, we'll come right back in. So how's everything been since the release of When?
Everything's been great. And, I feel like everything's moving kind of fast. So just doing my best to be as present as possible. And I'm just grateful.
I actually do want to go back to the Terrace project as well. Left My Heart in Ladera. How did that come together?
We had been putting together ideas. I think we started in like late 2018. And then we were getting a momentum recording and creating. And then the pandemic hit. So we took a break and then came back to it. But it started with, like, we both have a background in jazz. My foundation is R&B. So I think combining the two in a sense, that's where it started. Yeah.
Why'd you guys choose Paradise?
We just landed on that because we were like, let's do something Sade. And so let's do something that it's still known, but maybe not. I feel like Paradise isn't the first song you think of when you think of a Sade song. So yeah. Yeah.
And I mean, it's always scary when artists do covers of certain types of bands. And thank God it was you that did the Paradise cover and not somebody else.
Oh man,
because it came out amazing.
Even
you. When the intro started, I was like, Paris, all right, they're doing Sade thing. It's like, I have confidence. Yeah. Usually when I hear a cover coming, I'm like, God, how are we going to disrespect this song?
Yeah. Oh, no.
So, no, it came out great. And I still play that project to this day. Are you and Sarah still working together?
You know, we haven't worked together in a while just because I know he's ripping and running and developing new projects with other artists. But I mean, that's my guy. He's like a big brother to me. He's a West Coast global legend. So yeah.
One of the greatest debaters on the planet of all time.
For real.
Absolutely. Alex, you are a part of what I call my favorite, like my queen voices. Like it's you, it's Maida, it's Naomi Sharon, Snow Allegra. Like, is it possible, this is just a dream of mine, to get you four ladies on a tour together?
I would love. I would love
I thought you were pitching like a posse cut of like a Reservoir Dogs.
No. We need
a band from TV R&B.
We need them on a tour together.
Yeah,
like that to me will be just vocally one of the most incredible tours that I think we will probably have, because you don't see a lot of full out R&B vocalist tours where everybody vocally can hold their own.
Yeah.
To me, that is just something, because again, I listen to you, Rory will tell you, every day I'm listening to Alex.
Oh man, thank you.
So that's just like a dream of mine to just see my favorites. Like I want to buy a ticket. I'm not asking for no passes. I want to sit down and just watch you ladies perform.
I would love that. I mean, they're all beautiful voices. So I would love that. Yeah.
Yes, please.
Do you feel like the era of the whisper singer is starting to die out? Because it had a long fucking run. And listen, there were some whisper singers I liked. I'm not against that genre of R&B, but I feel like it's close to its last leg.
You know, I keep hearing about whisper singers. I don't know if I'm like as tapped into that conversation or
I guess it would, like, I don't consider Janae a whisper singer, but all of her kids became whisper singers. Like everyone that was influenced by Janae and her shifting R&B, I feel like in 2010. Yes, her children are the whisper singers.
Okay.
They can't sing like Janae can, so they just whispered like her.
Okay.
And to me, it started an entire. Fonte calls them Robs, racially ambiguous whisper bitches.
What?
You can never tell what race they are.
Oh my God.
Would the other be necessary? Like, what the fuck is wrong with?
We'll bleep it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Crazy.
It was set off mic, but I mean, I felt them like it was a specific type of singer. You did not know what race she was. She always whispered on a record, and that was a wave. Like tone. When there was mumble rap, there was whisper singing. And I think finally we've left that.
Are we okay? We're coming out of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, Alex, you come from obviously a legendary music family. How has it been kind of like carving your own? Because obviously the last name is legendary, but how has it been for you carving your own lane and developing your own audience?
It's been a lot of time, a lot of energy. I had to put in the work. There was no way around it. I think, and for my journey, like I want longevity like they have. And so there was no way around that part, that, putting the work in. So I started putting music together in 2009. I dropped my first project 2012, and it's been a lot of trial and error and, self-analyzation and doubt here and there and all the things. But I think to get here now and be in this space, I'm grateful. I'm grateful. And in a lot of ways, I'm just getting started.
Now, I always talk about it. This is Rory and I's second time doing the BET Media Room. And I always talk about how criminal it is that we haven't honored Stevie Wonder properly. We haven't given him a light. Now, he received the first ever award at the first ever BET Awards, but it wasn't called the Lifetime Achievement Award.
Okay.
So we haven't honored Stevie since then.
Okay.
I think it's criminal that we haven't. Do you feel like it's time that we honor Stevie properly?
Or do you think he hasn't achieved enough yet?
Oh, yeah. Does he still have more work to do? Stevie
He's on his way. He's on his way.
He has some work to put in. Maybe in another 3 years, he'll be ready for one. But I feel like, while we still have him, because I hate when we have to honor our legends when they're no longer here. So while we still have him, and they know I'm going to bring this up anytime I talk about the BET Awards, do you feel like we need to, even though he received the first one, it wasn't called the Lifetime Achievement.
Yeah.
Do you feel like Stevie is due for a proper Lifetime Achievement Award celebration?
He's the eighth wonder of the world. Absolutely.
Man.
Yeah.
This is more like he's asking every artist from 2 years ago and this year, so we can put together this petition. You saying on mic is your version of signing the petition.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And we are going to present it to BET.
She stamps it. She stamps it. We need to honor
Having
Stevie.
to pitch Stevie Wonder for a Lifetime Achievement Award.
Listen, I'm doing the
Look at all
people's
my
work.
signatures.
Yeah, I'm doing the people's work, Rory. I'm out here doing it.
Maul brought up your family, and I know your mother is involved with your management, and it's family with everything.
Yeah.
You being exposed to the music business early, just with the circle that you had, do you feel like R&B is not given the proper budgets, the proper attention, maybe the proper push in this era?
I think R&B does need more of a push. Things are just different now with how we digest music and social media and content and all the things. So I think, everything has changed pretty dramatically in the past 20 years. So I think we need to be put back in the forefront. We need more of a push for sure.
Yeah, I think it's crazy that we having that type of conversation. R&B needs more of a push.
Yeah, I mean, like you have someone like Coco Jones who's incredible.
Yeah.
Her last project as one of the best of this year.
Yeah.
I felt like got the first proper push of someone that can sing for real on a major in quite some time. We've watched Rory go through it, who is incredible. When you get put in this like traditional R&B shit, like the way the majors say urban, they do that now with traditional R&B.
Right.
And I feel like those budgets get cut in half out the gate. Like,
which is crazy.
Like sometimes you'll get Jasmine Sullivan hotels that is just so undeniable that the label has to put money behind. But I feel like R&B is kind of left to the wayside, and it's still the most pure genre in music right now. Right. It's the only thing that's like left with some integrity. So I don't know. I'm not sure if that's something you felt, because I know you're on the independent side. But if that, like when it comes to playlisting or spots, if you felt that at all.
Yeah, so I do appreciate the spaces where R&B is showcased and highlighted, like the playlisting and moments like this where we're celebrating R&B. So yeah, I'm grateful for that. Yeah. But we need more of it.
We definitely need more of it. Alex, what are some of your earliest memories of BET? I go back to Video Soul with Donnie Simpson. That's my era.
Okay.
What's some of your earliest memories of BET?
I would watch Planet Groove. I don't know if you remember Planet Groove.
Do I remember Planet Groove? I can't believe you remember Planet Groove.
Yeah. That was like my introduction to a lot of the artists that are like iconic today. Yeah. I remember seeing Maxwell for the first time on Planet Groove and Joe and Usher. And so, Planet Groove was like one of my favorite countdown shows.
You don't know nothing about Planet Groove.
I don't.
You wasn't there. You wasn't outside.
It was a time.
I was on Black Planet with a fake Abby.
That's a whole nother planet. Me and Alex on Planet Groove. You were somewhere else with it. Well, Alex, it's good to see you.
Good to see you guys.
Next time you're in New York, you got to come by the studio so we can do a proper in-studio session with you.
Yeah.
Again, I just want to give you your flowers. Thank you for everything that you've given us. Thank you for all the beautiful music. And I will continue to play you while I Windex my windows.
Yes, please.
While I clean the island in the kitchen. I will continue to play Alex Isley in my home. Yes. Thank you so much. It's good to see you, Alex.
Good to see you guys. Thank you.
All right, Rory, we're back. BET Awards 2025. Yes. We are joined by one of the quietest but deadliest pens that we have in the industry. If I open my IG and see him lifting any weights anymore, I'm gonna block him. I don't want to see that shit because I make me want to get up and go to the gym. We are joined by Pardison Fontaine.
Pardison Fontaine.
What's good with you, family?
I'm chilling.
How you feeling?
Great. I'm great. Happy to be here at BET.
Yeah, they got you working, moving you around. You're a celebrity today. Well, you're a celebrity, but today it's like it's on 10 today.
You got to be celebrity.
You got to talk to everybody.
Celebrity Expo. This is
Celebrity Expo.
How has the media room been with you, and how has your team prepped you for today with I'm sure the bullshit that will be asked that we're not going to ask. I just want to know how you're dealing with it. I feel like those are non-prescription glasses. They try to make you like,
not. You know what I'm saying? This is what you put on when you got court and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? You're not trying to go to jail. You don't want to go to jail. Shout out to Warby Parker.
You still getting 20 years.
Yeah, it's smoking you, nigga. I don't care about them glasses, Malcolm X. Go ahead.
Yeah, now you educated.
First thing I thought when I saw it was like, does Party wear glasses?
Today he does though.
Should have wore a turtleneck instead.
It's blue light. You know what I'm saying? It blocked me from the phone and the computer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel you. How you feeling though, man? You working on some new music? Well, I know you're always writing, but are you working on any new personal music?
Absolutely. I do that out of necessity. You know what I'm saying? I just create because I'm a creative. So and I share it, every time I can.
The underrated project to me is exactly that, underrated. Me and Rory talk about it often. But we know what you do for other artists. How hard has it been to transition fully into really keeping a lot of those smash verses and hit records for yourself?
It don't like when anything that's for me is like I just know it's for me because I'm in the mode, right? You know, like sometimes every now and then it'll be like, oh, this could work for somebody else too. But most of the time, if it's for me, it's my point of view and like where I'm thinking. And when I'm working with somebody else, it's like I'm trying to get what the world want to hear them say. You know what I'm saying? Or how I would say it if I was them type shit. Right. So I normally know the difference though.
What's the wildest bar that you wrote for somebody else that you was like, I know the homies in the group chat gonna kill me when they see the pub on this?
Nah.
Like, what was the wildest? You had to say pause in your mind when you was typing out the...
I'm gonna keep it on it. I leave it blank. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I leave it.
He gonna hold it. I'm not gonna write that.
Less points on this record.
I'll leave it like you know exactly what it's supposed to be.
But you can't write that.
I just
use
leave
context clues.
Boom.
Yo, Party,
it's all you.
Context clues.
That's all you.
You figure it out, shorty. You know what I mean?
Nah, you know exactly what go there. Even on a lot of the refs. So I just leave it blank.
Yeah, you can't. No audio of me ever saying no shit like that.
Blackmail my ass immediately.
On the joint that came out with Cardi, what was that?
Toot it up?
Yeah.
Toot it up.
That was 2 months ago at this point?
About that?
Yeah.
About that, yeah.
Was that an older record that was in the vault or that was something y'all started?
Hell yeah, it was so...
It felt like Cardi's tone was even...
It was a couple years old, like maybe 3-4 years.
Okay.
But what happened was the sample had got, you know, it's a big Apache sample, so it like pushed us back a little bit. But due to like her clips just kept going viral and kept asking, yo, drop this song. So we released it and I'm like, yo, this shit still fire. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In the summer coming around and watch it. Watch when the summer hit. It's gonna do some more numbers. But, but that's what it was. We did it for our fan base that's just a fan of us, like that we did the backing it up together. People love that. So we just want to keep that history and that nostalgia going.
I feel, we talked to a lot of songwriters throughout the last 2 days, and just their process of the behind the scenes thing. I think because quote unquote ghostwriting in hip hop is so taboo, it's tough to see the journey of the ghostwriter in rap. It's not something there's like flat out interviews because everyone's trying to hide who's writing what when it comes to hip hop. How did you even get into that process? Because I know you obviously your own artist and were making music before, but how did the journey start of the songwriting side?
Basically really just from making my own music, right? And then it was the opportunity presented itself from people that respected my pen. Like everybody knows that me and Cardi are like, we locked in, like that's my genuine friend. So when she first wanted to get into the music game of making music and rapping, she go and reach out to the person she know that fucking raps, right? So that's how we just even started going to the studio, me hearing her ideas and what she was doing and me being able to help her. That started like that. Then same thing with Ye. He heard my stuff and how I helped her. He wanted to help and we started collabing. Beyonce, like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's just how it goes. Like it all just stems from me being able to do my thing and people who are big in this just respecting my creativity.
As writers, do you limit yourself to just music, or are you looking to get into like film writing and things like that? Because I feel like if you're a writer, you're a writer. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So we just did I just did Raising Kanan season 4.
Fire.
As B Rilla.
Yeah.
Who happens to be a rapper, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that was a great experience. I loved it. I've always wanted to be an actor from seeing like Jamie Foxx, Will Smith, Martin Lawrence, like all those people who make these classic movies and they got these classic roles. I've always wanted to be able to just imprint myself in the culture and the history for being on screen and on film.
I know you were tapped into the Joey Badass versus the entire West Coast situation.
Yeah.
Where do you stand on that entire thing, and how many bars did you just write in your head?
I was kind of tight. I was kind of tight. I'm like, damn, nobody tapped me in on because homeboy, that's my man too. TDE, what's bro name that popped it off? Yeah, exactly. Ray Vaughn. My fault. My bad, bro. But I just talked to him yesterday at the celebrity game. I'm like, bro, you could have told me you was about to do this shit. You know what I'm saying? I could have asked some shit right for you. You know what I'm saying? I would have went right at you. You know what I mean? But I think it was just good overall, just for hip hop and niggas just barring off. You know what I'm saying?
We talked to Reason and Kai Cash yesterday, and it was good. We had them on the couch together actually, and it was good to see. It was good. Pause.
Fair.
Hey, yo.
You had him on the casting couch?
No, my bad.
Hey, yo.
You're right. Pause. That was crazy. Pause. But it was good to see the young writers and rappers pop out for that moment, spar a little bit, but it's just kept it with strictly music. It wasn't nothing personal. It wasn't nothing physical. Do you feel like we need more moments like that? It's like, yo, let's just get out there and see who moving those pins.
I think when it happens organically like that, it's cool. You know what I'm saying? It's a great moment, especially when the music industry has been tainted by like streaming and numbers and who's this and how much song. And, you know what I mean?
Fuck all that.
That takes away from the art. And I think a lot of the best music is probably somewhere on people's hard drives because they afraid of it. You know what I mean? I see artists not working with other artists because they not a big name. You know what I mean? Like so this was just really back to the roots of just talent and just expression. So that is super dope. Yeah, salute to everybody involved.
Absolutely.
Before we let you go, what's the difference between a Cardi session and a Kanye session?
Yo, one, you doing more listening than ever.
One, you can't get a word in.
One, you are just listening. You're doing a bunch of listening.
Yeah.
But they both dope, man. Super, super creative people, and both are like super passionate about what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't never get it fucked up. Cardi is very opinionated, very passionate, and very hands to fuck on. Like, you know what I'm saying? So she's gonna she has her direction and she knows exactly what she want to say, and so do Ye. So, but they're definitely similar in that regard, but they're both fun experiences.
Now, we're at the BET Awards 2025. What's some of your earliest memories of watching BET at the crib?
I just BET Uncut. You know what I'm saying?
How did I know? How did I know he was going to say that?
I'm like, I asked this to everybody. No one's brought that up, and it's been in the back of my mind. Like, I don't want to bring it up because it sounds
different world. I'm like, yo, what is this? What is this?
I love this record.
I don't know what sex is, but I know this got something to do with it. Like, yo, this. You know what I'm saying?
I know that tip drill has changed my perspective for the rest of it. I'm the man I am today because of it.
Like, yo, what's Big Pimpin' for me? Like, I'm like, God. I'm like, yo, what part of the world is this? That is world. And I'm like, yo, who is this nigga? He look cool. It's hot, but he got on a fur coat and a hat. Like, so I'm really like, that really changed the game for me, seeing Big Pimpin' and whatnot.
Well, listen, man, we looking forward to hearing what you got for us. I know another album is on the way soon.
And congrats on acting and that.
Another role coming up. We're about to start shooting in a month or two. So I'm gonna be on the big screen some more. Another project with all ladies coming out too. A bunch of the lady MCs that's in the game is coming out soon. And so y'all be hearing from me.
Listen, when we get back to New York, man, whenever you back in the city, you got to stop by the studio so we can do a proper in-studio session and really chop it up.
And have some real debates too, because I'll be seeing y'all takes and I'll be going.
I love it.
I know you love it.
I love it. Let's fucking do it. Let's go.
I know you love it.
My God, Pardison Fontaine, man. All right, Rory, we back at the BET Awards 2025.
Yes.
And the list of family continues to roll in.
This is day two.
This is the family affair today.
For sure.
We are joined by one of the illest of MCs, rappers that we have. My God, my family. Nick Grant, how you feeling, family?
Man, I'm good, man. How you feeling? Appreciate you having me.
No, listen, fuck, we ain't gonna do that. We appreciate you having me. This nigga had me out.
Telling your manager, appreciate you having me, is fucking crazy. I think it's kind of crazy that Maul had you waiting over here.
No. Listen.
I said that. We said that.
We gotta have a meeting.
We gotta have a meeting.
It was totally.
At 92 Brick Enterprises, we gotta have a meeting.
It was totally inappropriate for me to do that, but in all fairness, we did have what's your name on the queue before. But how you feeling, man? Listen, we was out late last night, man.
Nah, for sure.
Yeah, that was out.
Where you was at?
We wasn't really out. I was home.
We was out.
I was away from my room. I was away from my room, but we wasn't really out. Our version of out in the studio,
right?
Riding around the streets a little bit. But you've been working on a new project.
Yeah,
I took it personal.
Yep.
When we getting it?
June 20th.
June 20th.
Yeah.
What can we expect? I mean, I know I've been hearing the joints obviously, but what can the people expect to hear from Nick?
I think it's just my most aggressive album to date.
Yeah.
I think if my last album, Sunday Dinner, was my personal story.
Classic.
Thank you. I appreciate that. This album is, just my valleys and peaks in the music business. So some good, some bad, and me just expressing what I felt about everything and every situation that I've been through. So
I mean, it's been on record, the ups and downs that you have had within the business. What has been the highest high and what has felt like the lowest low that maybe wasn't really a low in the long run?
The lowest low was the first time I probably felt like I followed someone else's direction.
Okay.
And lost following that direction.
Yeah,
and I had to bounce back. Yeah, that's the worst.
Because I didn't want to do that anyway.
Exactly.
And it didn't work out.
And if I felt like I did what I wanted to do and still took the L,
that's okay.
It would have been cool. It would have been calm. So yeah, that probably was the lowest low, trying to bounce back and rebrand and revive everything that I had going on. I think the highest high was, just meeting some of the the MCs that I grew up listening to, whether it was Jay, Nas, Andre 3000, you know, all these guys like supported me, or if they didn't support, they knew about me early on and gave me good encouraging words. So yeah.
What was, you know, they clown me on this podcast about my first conversation. Well, not my first conversation with Nas, my first one-on-one, like in an intimate setting conversation with Nas. Him and Demaris won't ever let me forget that I, you know, told him how much he changed my life and this and that. They clown me. Like Nas doesn't know that someone's life has changed. I'm telling you, like, he's never heard this before. Nas has no idea how good Illmatic is.
Yeah, for sure.
What was that first Nas conversation like?
Oh man, it was great. I remember being upset that I didn't make like the freshman cover or something.
Okay.
And I was doing a show. I was in New Orleans. I was doing a show with Ab-Soul. And I remember my manager at the time, he was like, yo, Nas coming to see you.
That's just a crazy sentence.
Like, what? You never, like, I don't even know him. Why was he coming to see me?
Right.
So we go eat. I'm like, oh shit, it's Nas. He just walks through the door.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, what's up? Poured me some Hennessy. He was just chopping it up. We talked for like 4 hours just about hip hop, the good and bad, and what he felt, you know, was good and what was dope. I mean, what was bad and what was dope. So yeah, that was a great conversation. That conversation changed my life because at the end of the conversation, he was like, yo, you want to go on tour with me? And it was
like, who? Wait.
As if the Nas is on his way sentence wasn't crazy enough.
Nas said, yo, you want to go on tour with me? Like, what?
I'm like, yeah, this is crazy.
Let me check my schedule.
Not only me though, it was like Lauryn Hill too. So it was like, it was crazy.
Yeah. What is that like for you though, to be in such close proximity with some of the artists you obviously grew up listening to and you know, kind of holding to a high regard, to not have that rapport with them where it's personal conversations, it's advice, and talking about just the culture?
Man, it's great. Like, these people were like my superheroes early on. These people were like, I took different things from both these artists. These artists was like, you know, they helped me through like traumatic periods in my life musically. So, and just raised me. So yeah, just seeing them perform night after night, I'm like pinching myself, watching them perform every day. And then like, they checking on me like, yo, you good in here? You straight? You need anything? Like, they don't have to do that. So to be in that position, and like, I felt like their son on tour. It was like, it was crazy to me. So yeah, I'm still pinching myself to this day to just being around them and learning different things, making my show better, watching them, making music better, seeing how they like put their records together. And, you know, it's dope.
Yeah. Now with the current state of rap, we kind of had a back and forth between, you know, Joey Badass, guys on the West Coast. You as an MC, as a writer, sitting back watching that, like, what were some of your thoughts and what were some of the things you were saying, yo, if I was involved in this, I would have went about it this way?
And I have a follow-up. What is it going to take for somebody to say, for you to enter the ring?
Just say my name. Yeah. I'll be waiting. I'll be itching for that kind of shit. You know me. We talk about this shit all the time.
I'll be personal conversations. I'll be why they won't say my name?
Yeah, I'll be ready. Like,
who gonna say something?
The real boogeyman, you know?
We were talking off mic of who we wanted to be involved in that shit. I was like, God, I wish somebody would say Ransom or Nick's name in this entire thing.
Yeah, Ransom too. Yeah, they're not gonna do that.
But as a writer though, like, how were you gauging that whole thing?
Man, I loved it. I think it's good for hip hop ultimately, but I just love Joey's attack on it. Like, just being ready at all times. And I think the most impressive thing was like, he's doing so much outside of music. Yeah. To come back and be that like in shape is like, I figured that would be a tough thing, but like he not only held his own, he did what he was supposed to do.
Yeah,
like
against daylight. Like, we're not talking about. Battle rappers don't even have to go after daylight,
for sure.
Let alone
for sure, 100%.
A rapper / actor.
Right. Yeah, for sure. So yeah, so I was like super impressed. Yeah. Another level of respect for him. Not that it matters, but just looking at him in his artistry now, I'm looking at it differently. Just the way he approached that.
Right. With having a date already for the project, what producers have you worked with? Features? What's the liner notes looking like on this one?
This is all in house. I got another project coming out. We'll talk about that later, but just working with different people like Saha Ransom again. Yeah. Just getting like different people involved in the music and the albums. But this album is just me and just like in-house producers.
Love that.
You know, close artists that are close to me, and just working with them every day and just getting the project together.
Now you've been dropping a lot of visuals on socials, shooting a lot of the clips you're on. What was the thought behind that? Like, you wanted to take clips from each song and kind of create your own visual for it and just consistently feed the algorithm? For sure.
I started that with Sunday Dinner. And I think it started with like people just saying I had to be more active on social media. Yeah. So I figured out a way to like shoot a movie that relates to the album and just space it out for as long as the album is being rolled out. So yeah, so I think that's something that I caught. So I caught like a acting bug or a film bug in the process. Yeah. And I think it like helps my personality resonate, because for a while I was always just reserved and like I don't want to look crazy. But now it's like they help me to not give a fuck even more. So
now as a writer, you definitely not just write music. You've written some films, some scripts.
For sure.
You have one out already on YouTube. Yeah. A comedy. Yeah. And then now you're in the process of getting ready to shoot another one. Talk to us about that.
That movie is called 95. It's about 4 friends from DC, and they go to Atlanta. But everything goes left when they get to Atlanta. They go to what is assumed to be Freaknik at the time, but everything goes left. It's like a cross between Hangover and Friday. It's a comedy. I feel like comedy helps me, reveal my personality a little more. So yeah, that's what that film is about. So I'm in the process of moving it and shopping it around. So, yeah.
How is balancing fatherhood with putting together this latest album? What's that balance been like?
This is tough.
Boy, kicking your ass, ain't
it? Oh my God, this is tough.
Yo, when me and Nick got the studio together, all we bonded on was our fatherhood.
Look. Yeah, nah, for sure. You never had a motherfucker on your back like
this,
this is crazy, bro. Yeah. But nah, it's the most beautiful thing in the world, dog. Like, it's tough sometimes because I'm like trying to figure out, and I don't know if I'm getting everything right, but it's still the most beautiful shit like I've ever done. Yeah. So I'm like, I'm in love with him, dog. I can't shake. I ain't want to leave him just now. I'm like, can I bring him? I'm like, nah. But
has it changed your writing approach?
Absolutely. It's like everything has to matter. Early on, I didn't have a lot of intention. I was just like trying to impress other rappers or impress other fans of hip hop, where it's like, I'm gonna write this punchline, it's gonna be it. But I think, this time it's like I gotta leave a story behind. Yeah. For his kids, for him. Right. So they can know who I was, if I'm not able to have certain conversations for whatever reason. But that's what the music is about now. Just moving with intention, telling a story, and having something for them to look back on. Yep.
That's so funny you said that. Literally, the conversation I had yesterday with a friend, she asked me same question, but just in general life. And I said I said intention.
That's
every
crazy.
Fucking decision I make is
it's intentional,
monitored way differently now.
Hell yeah.
Even the smallest things,
for
some reason, that's just right there for every last decision. Absolutely. Everything has to have a intention to it and a here. If there's no purpose here, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
I'm done. I'm done with it. So
before I didn't give a fuck. Right.
I don't give a fuck. Yeah. I'm like, shit, why? I probably would have been further if I would have had him earlier.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Let's go to some bullshit and find some purpose.
No, Nick be calling me, sound like he just woke up. I said, that's the nephew over there whooping your ass, Eddie. When he take a nap, you take a nap.
You say nigga be sleep with all the lights on?
All the lights on. I'm falling asleep with all the lights on.
Granddad sleep, nigga.
Absolutely.
Before we let you go, a while ago when Maul told me you guys were going to start to work together, I thought it was a perfect pairing. I was really excited that you guys are working together.
Right here.
Yeah, I do want to know what like Maul's manager swag is like when y'all in the streets.
Yeah.
Like how he move like with the manager hat on.
I don't even like to put manager hat on there. Nick is his family. That's my guy. He know anything he need. He hit me. He asked me. I try to tie it together for him, make it make sense. I don't like to put the manager title on it.
That's good media training. He jumped in front of that. Like, you out on the streets, like
because he know we don't carry it like that. Like it ain't just a manager thing. But it's just like whatever Nick need. We talking about, we kicking about life and laugh about a lot of shit going on in the industry and in the space of just hip hop and rap, and a lot of dudes that think they dope that's really not.
Yeah, it's a lot of that.
It's a lot of that. It's a lot of them conversations.
You want to get some rap beef?
It's a lot of them conversations. But Nick coming off of his Sunday Dinner album, which to me is a definite classic. Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to. I took it personal. A lot of the records that I've been privileged to hear. Just an incredible level of rapping and MCing.
Appreciate you.
Storytelling, song structuring. And I think that, it's time that people, the masses know exactly how dope Nick Grant is.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you. Yeah, just to answer your question though, like, Maul is super cool, man. It's very rare that you meet people in the business like y'all, where it's just solid. Y'all gonna always tell the truth. Y'all not gonna sugarcoat anything. Mm-hmm. Everything isn't about a dollar. You just want intention again, purpose, and just being authentic and staying true to what this thing really is. And I think that's important. But very rare that you find people like yourselves in this business. So
I appreciate that, man.
At least in my story. So
Absolutely.
So yeah,
And this
I'm
is
thankful for you guys for sure.
Thankful for you as well. And this is one of Andre 3000's personal favorite rappers. We got to put that out there because a lot of people don't know that. So if you don't know who Nick Grant is, if you don't know who Nick Grant is, just know that Andre 3000
I got a story. This nigga came to my show though. I was in Atlanta. He was like, "Yo, you gotta come to the studio," and then I was like, I hate to say this because this is for me though. Yeah. So when I walk in, he's like
crazy.
And I'm like, yo, nah, this is wild.
Yeah, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. Get up, nigga. Yeah.
So he's like, somebody set this up.
Yeah. So he like, he's like, yeah, if we ever do a record together, you're gonna make me rap better than I ever had to rap. I'm like, nah,
what are we
nigga.
talking about,
I say, I'm not even here.
Yeah. What are we talking about? So he like,
when you do a show here, let me know. I'm gonna pull up.
Yeah.
He ain't coming to no show, whatever, nigga. So I get to Dallas. I hear his voice coming down the hall. I'm like, yo, this nigga really came. This is crazy. He got a real distinct voice. Yeah. So I'm like, yo, this really showed up.
Yeah.
Nigga, he's a nigga though.
Yeah.
Comes in the room like, hey, it's 10 people out there. Like, take a picture with me, nigga. Show them that I'm here so we can fill the show up. But super cool dude, man. Without him, I don't have a style. You know what I'm saying? So I'm grateful for him.
Yeah. Maybe part of the deluxe, since the album is coming soon. If you rapped on all those flute beats, that might get 3 stacks. Like if he hears what it could sound like
Nick catch that pocket.
Sure. That might get at least 2 of the records.
Yeah.
Lupe rapped on one of them, and Lupe smoked it.
Real.
But if you did like 3 of those joints, that might get 3 stacks come out.
Come on, producer, get me right, man.
Just download it off YouTube.
They got it. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Now let's figure that out. Come on, let's figure it out. I'm ready.
Take 3 stacks flute album and rap on it.
Yeah. Now he got the keyboard, piano joint too. So we'll figure it out.
We at the BET Awards 2025. So Nick, what's some of your back home in South Carolina growing up? What's some of your earliest memories of BET?
Video Soul, nigga, Donnie Simpson. I'm older now, so I'm like,
Planet
I remember
Group,
all
Teen
that
Summit.
shit. Teen Summit, hell yeah. Nigga, it was a show. Was this BT? It was a show. They used to come on, nigga. My mom it was a Patti LaBelle show. It was a TV show. Out all night, nigga. It was Patti LaBelle, Morris Chestnut.
Oh.
What's the nigga from Above the Rim? I forgot his name. Dwayne Martin.
Martin.
They had a TV show. That shit used to come on BET. We used to watch that show all the time.
That's crazy. That's a throwback.
Yeah, it's a throwback.
That's a super throwback.
We were watching Katie Kirk.
In my home, we were watching
that show he's referring to.
That shit used to come on. My mom used to watch that shit. Yeah, we used to watch of course, 106 Park.
Yeah.
The OG 106 was like, we couldn't wait to get home and watch all the videos. And
Well, Mr. 106 in Park, Bow Wow and JD are performing at the BET Awards this weekend.
JD legend,
so
Bow Wow legend.
That's gonna be a nostalgic thing to just see Bow Wow on stage at the BET Awards.
You was just in with JD, right?
Yeah.
So on his IG,
yeah.
Is he on the next project? Or have y'all worked on anything that
we trying to do a project actually? I just saw JD the other night. I ran into him and he was like, "Yeah, you gotta come back to Atlanta." But yeah, we trying to do a project.
Yeah, we're gonna make it happen.
Songs for Girls. We're gonna chop it up with him for sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, Nick, June 20th.
Yeah, June 20th. Yep.
I took it personal.
Yes, sir.
Listen, if you didn't hear Sunday Dinner, I don't know why. If you're a fan of bars and rap, you gotta go listen to Sunday Dinner. And then
watch the movie.
Watch the movie, and then understand why he took it personal. June 20th. My guy, my family, Nick Grant. Always good to see you,
appreciate
family.
you, man. Thank you, guys.
Maul, to continue with the theme of the second day.
Family reunion.
The media room. We are with somebody that is also our family. Probably, in my opinion, the best current writer in the space right now. An incredible producer, an incredible musician. And I cannot wait for the world to find out how good of an artist he is in 2025. We are here with my guy, Dixon. How are you feeling?
Dixon was good, family.
You got to shape up?
I got to shape up.
Dixon went there sharp, though.
I'm stressed out. There's a lot of people. You know, my inner introvert is...
Screaming at you.
Screaming at me.
Yeah.
I've shaken a
Get
lot of
back
hands.
in the house. What are you
I want to
doing?
wash my hands.
Yeah, I feel you.
So you sang at the official dinner last night for the BET Awards.
I did.
And we'll speak to the future. You are also performing and singing at the awards tomorrow.
Yes.
What has that process been like performing at award shows?
It's interesting this time around. I'm like not kind of in the forefront for the award show. I'm singing with Kirk Franklin.
Yep. Just casually, you know.
So Kirk is one of the first artists I ever worked with whose album won a Grammy, and I sang on that album that won a Grammy, and so it's like full circle. Adam Blackstone called me, was like, "You want to do this?" I was like,
"Absolutely,
no brainer. Yeah. I'm doing it. I don't care. Whatever I got to do to be there for that." Because Kirk really like put a lot of us on earlier in my career, so I honor that man. He's a visionary.
Yeah. So we've had a few great songwriters that we've spoken to the last 2 days. And kind of a theme that we've talked about was when you start out trying to be an artist, sometimes because you're so talented, you'll find a lot of success in the behind the scenes production and songwriting work to the point that it can make your artist career a bit stagnant. What is the moment when you go, nah, I still need to focus on what I came here for? I am an artist. This is the most important thing. I'm not giving A-list artists all of my hits for the rest of my fucking life.
I mean, it's moments like last night where like it was last minute for me to sing, but Adam was like, you gotta sing in this room, and to see the room react to me as an artist and not really, I don't even know if that room really knew what I'd done behind the scenes. They only kind of knew me as a singer, as an artist, and we kind of smacked that room last night. So I'm like, it's moments like that where I'm reminded, okay, I still kind of do this. Yeah. And like me and Adam didn't rehearse last night. Like I didn't do a sound check, like nothing. I just pulled up and
middle of the appetizer was like,
And like I was supposed to go later in the show. He was like, nah, we need you to kind of like turn the room around a little bit. So it's moments like that where I realize I should still be kind of out here doing it. And I have a new project coming too.
Which so you gotta get out.
Yes.
Fall. We're gonna finish Kehlani and then I'm gonna drop.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see you've been posting with Kehlani a lot.
My dog.
And she has a single coming out, which I believe you co-wrote as well. That's June
11th, Wednesday.
Okay.
Wednesday.
What was the process of making that record?
Quick. I'm sure she won't mind me saying this. Like we went to Miami last month to just like actually do one song with a particular artist, and then it kind of turned into a camp. Dre from Dre and Vidal played this beat, and we all were like, okay, this is a no-brainer. So that was like maybe 2.5 weeks ago, and the song is coming out Wednesday. So we're pretty excited about it, man. Like it's been used so many times on TikTok and Instagram and all the shit that matters. You know.
What's that like? Because I mean, you know, you were on Kehlani's Deluxe as well. Like you guys have an incredible chemistry. What do you think builds the best chemistry between producers, songwriters, and artists?
I mean, honestly, just getting to actually know the artist. Like, I've been working with Kay now for almost 2 years. Like, I did Crash with her, and then I did While We Wait 2. And most of our relationship has just been getting to know each other as artists, like artist to artist, too. Like, the things that make her tick, the things I notice she likes, doesn't like, the things and spaces that in which I can challenge her in. She challenges me in spaces where I need to be challenged in, and we just have a certain level of trust. I think a lot of times people see writers and producers as just like a utility to the record, and it's like, yeah, the beat can be fire, but if I don't know exactly what you like and what your taste levels are, like the beat actually might not be the right beat for you. But like just because I have a name, you might like this beat. You know what I'm saying? But I don't need you to like it because I have a name. I need you to like it because it resonates with you, that you think it's going to be a hit, you know, down the road, that you think you can keep singing it and touring it. Like, fuck the name shit. I'm like, does it work? Is it real? You know?
Do you take that mentality into like rehearsals with Kirk Franklin? Like having that in the back? No, seriously, I'm wondering what that type of rehearsal is like.
Man, I mean, one is Adam Blackstone, so you know it's a tight ship. Like, and Adam's one of my best friends, but like in that space, he is the boss, and we don't ask no questions. Kirk is very collaborative. He's always been in his career, in my experience with him. So he's like hearing stuff that we're doing and like having notes, and like he's very collaborative. I seen him in a choreography rehearsal. He's like, this shit about to be crazy. I'm sorry, I'm cursing about a Kirk Franklin thing, but this about to be crazy.
Kirk saying the same shit.
This shit crazy.
That he'll say for sure. But
Lord gonna bless this shit.
Oh my God. He's a perfectionist too. He's a real artist, man. I think it doesn't matter the genre. Like when you really love this art form, like you check off all the boxes, your P's and Q's, everything. So that's what the process is like. It's just like being in a Kehlani rehearsal or a Dixon rehearsal. It's like we actually care.
Yeah.
No, absolutely.
You know. So
what has been some of the most interesting sessions that you've been in that you can of course speak about?
Interesting sessions. I once had a Migos session in Atlanta, where I'm from, that didn't actually happen because of some things I can't talk about. And when I'm just like, bro, we're not supposed to be able to get this shit off like in a session.
Yeah.
But they the Migos, and I don't ask no questions.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But that was an interesting session. I think the most like fulfilling sessions were the Cowboy Carter sessions. Like it just really stretched me as a writer and a producer to be in a genre that I'm not accustomed to, but I'm from the South, so like I know the music, but it means something different when she's doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
and how intentional is the direction in those types of sessions?
Listen.
Of knowing this is what you guys are here to do.
There's a brief, there's books, there's images, there's videos that we watch, there's playlists that's circulating. Like we're really talking through this process. And then, you know, once we start working on records, there's notes and edits and rewrites and reproductions, and like she cares, and that's why the tour looks how it looks. That's why the records sound how they sound. That process is the most intense process I've ever been through.
Can you speak to the funnier side of some writing camps? I'll speak to one in particular of certain movie soundtracks where you'll enter the studio and they'll have keywords that you need to say.
You gotta hit some keywords. You gotta hit them.
There was one soundtrack, I won't say which one it is, but I was there writing camp and actually got some shit out of it for my own stuff. But there plastered over every wall was hero, villain, like all this shit. Like, wait.
Okay,
who at Warner Brothers put this up?
I'll give you one in particular because now it's coming out and I feel like we can talk about it. The Smurfs thing was so interesting because the people behind that are literally culture's best. Like the people behind the Smurf soundtrack literally know how to make hit records.
Are we allowed to say who's behind it?
I think people know. I think it's like a Rock Nation thing or like Tata.
Tata specifically.
Yeah,
and
I think
for those
people know this.
That don't know Tata's pedigree, he was so early on Rihanna's career and putting together everything that she did. Like
he knows what he's doing.
That guy has been making hit records quietly for quite some fucking
time. For a long time.
Yeah.
So I walk into a session and it's me, James Fauntleroy, Danger, Ant Clemens, Camper, and we all sitting in a room and the executives started to give us these keywords and literally it was like the Spider-Man, like we were all looking at each other like, are they really about to tell us what to do? They're about to tell James Fauntleroy what to write.
Aaron Camper, and you like the fucking Voltron
They're
shit.
about to tell us what to do. And me, I'm like humble in the room, like, okay, maybe I need to read the brief. Because like I'm looking at Danger and Camper and fucking James Fauntleroy. I'm like, maybe they need to, they said the brief for me.
Right.
Because I'm the new one here.
Yeah.
Then James looking at me like,
Keywords blue.
Yeah.
like we weren't gonna get that. You know what I'm saying? Like
Say the word blue.
Like we didn't know the Smurfs was blue. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to them. Like
I guess
it's slowly rolling out. But
and again, if that's the way artists and commerce can operate in a healthy way, if that makes the execs feel like they're a part of it,
they
and
gotta
leave
meet a
everyone
quota
alone,
too.
Go
You
ahead.
know what I'm saying? Because their
Send
job
us
is
the
on the
brief.
line. If I sent them everything's all about red,
Yeah.
you know, they gonna be like, you didn't tell them it was blue. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's shout out to them. They did it, but we were all looking at each other like, what the fuck? Like,
Is that a different approach going into like, you know, making your own music with B, whatever, but going into a soundtrack, something like Smurf, is that a different part of the brain of like, all right, I have to focus on kids here, like, do I need to listen to Baby Shark and figure out why these kids are minds are being blown by this?
I've ignored the brief my whole career.
Yeah.
Honestly, because everything I do so far that's been successful it's been led with my heart and with my talent and my ear, right? But the brief sometimes can like box you in pretty quickly when honestly the stuff that makes it off these movies, like Happy, you know what I'm saying? Like you think somebody gave him a brief, that was in his heart.
The
you know
first
what I'm
time I
saying?
heard Happy was on Two Dope Boys. Like that wasn't like a.
You see what I'm saying?
I think people forget that wasn't some major release. It became that, and then ended up in.
But it's heart led. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't. any artist, even when it's the biggest artist in the world or an artist that's up and coming, it's like at the end of the day, I want to feel something.
Yeah.
You know, if I don't feel anything, it's just like you can tell in the records. Like the records that I've written that have not come out because I felt like obligated to do the session or like, you know, it's a relationship thing. Like I got to show up because this person puts me on in this place. Like, you can feel that in the records, but the records where I'm like, all right, today we're just gonna make a good song. Ty tells me that all the time. He's like, bro, just make a good record. We can figure out what to do with it in the world, but like, do something that feels good to you when you hear it every time. You want to sing it at the top of your lungs. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I do.
Now we at the BET Awards 2025. Growing up in Atlanta, what were some of your earliest memories watching BET? Some of your favorite shows?
BET for sure, 106 in Park. Yeah. Shout out to my friend Roxy. Like, that was a game changer for me. Also, people don't know this. My second cousin is Lil Bow Wow, and that could mean a lot
that's
to
Mr. 106 in Park.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But when I was a kid watching him on 106 in Park, I was like, oh, I can do this.
How long we know,
I can do.
How long we know each other? The things we've shared. You never told me Bow Wow was your second cousin.
Bow was my second cousin.
That's such a wild.
My boy.
Wild fact.
Yeah, so, and I found that out as a kid, like when Like Mike came out. This is when I found this out. My pops pulls me to say, we got a lot of family in Ohio. Yeah. He was like, you know it's your cousin, right? I said, nigga, you lying. Like in my head, I'm like, you lying. But he really was. I pulled up to a family reunion and him, his mom, everybody was there.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Fuck, that's some wild shit.
Have y'all connected since?
Not really. And what's crazy, I grew up in So Def. Like my older cousin, like super affiliated. That's the reason why I'm in the music industry. My older cousin, Scooter Braun, signed my cousin when I was very young and he was very young, and I grew up at So Def, but I never ran into Bow Wow to tell him he was my cousin. But shout out to
him and JD are performing at the BET Awards.
Yes, I saw JD last night.
Yeah, shout out to JD, shout out to Bow Wow for touching the stage. Well, Dixon, we definitely looking forward to whatever you're doing. You're one of our favorites, our personal favorites.
Yes,
your talent is incredible, and we're looking forward to everything you got coming. And salute to you, BET Awards 2025. Our guy Dixon.
Thank y'all, man.